Literary Morning, a cozy bookish podcast to listen to while you sip your morning cup of tea. I'm Hannah, a stay-at-home mom of two who loves to read and talk about books, and I'm so happy you're here. Today I am super excited and nervous to be recording this sort of prequel episode of the Literary Morning podcast. I keep thinking about how people who find the podcast years down the road will sort from oldest to newest, and this will be the first episode that will come up. And that just feels like a lot of pressure. I know over time the podcast is going to change and shift and hopefully have better quality. Hopefully I'll have more fun ideas. But I know this as my first episode will be a little bit different than what I hope to normally do. I thought about including all of this introductory stuff in the first official episode, but I didn't want to bog down anything, and I thought it would be helpful to just have this as a standalone, short and sweet episode that I can just link to if anyone has any questions in the future. Hi, my name is Hannah. I am currently a stay-at-home mom of two little girls, and I live in Indiana. I learned how to read when I was maybe 5 years old in kindergarten. I was homeschooled, so my mom taught me, and ever since then, I've not necessarily been a voracious reader my whole life. After I learned how to read, I would always have a book that I was reading. I don't ever remember not reading, but I really became a very strong reader probably around middle school, early high school, and that's when I started tracking my reading. That is also when I started my first blog. I started blogging at the age of 13. It was 2011. And I just wanted to start it as a hobby, and I quickly fell into the book community online at the time, very heavy in blogging. I would also watch a lot of booktube videos. I remember watching creators like Ariel, Bisset, Jessethereader, Booksandquills, PolandBananasBooks, all of those old classic booktubers. So I've always sort of been around the bookish community since that time, but I've been more of a distant observer, more just consuming content than actually creating content. I have kept up with blogging off and on throughout the years. I've had several different blogs. When I was a senior in college, I started Literary Morning, just did a full rebrand and tried to focus my blog more on books as well as a little bit of lifestyle, and that's where I've been blogging ever since. Of course, I've taken several hiatuses over the years since starting that blog, but it has always been a hobby that I have loved so much. It has so much nostalgia for me. I love sitting down and writing about books, book reviews, reflections, recommendations, all of that stuff. This year, I was trying to get back into blogging, really trying to think about it more seriously as just a passive hobby. And I really wanted to try to expand on the blog, to try different fun content I could do to try to reinvigorate my creativity. I worked a lot in marketing and communication ever since I graduated, so creating and brainstorming ideas like that is something that I naturally just really love to do. So in July or August of 2024, I decided to try and make YouTube videos just to experiment with it. It was very much a trial and error sort of thing that I did. I made a few videos of very dubious quality before I unexpectedly went into labor with my second daughter. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to start a hobby like that when I was 7 months pregnant. But anyway, I still had a very fun time with the videos, and I'm planning to keep them up for the time being, even though they're not the best, just as a way to make myself more comfortable with the imperfections in the creative process. So after I had my daughter and I was home for a while, I thought more about the videos and how I wanted to get back into it, but didn't quite know how. And through thinking about all of that, a podcast started to make more sense for me in this stage of my life. I still want to expand on my blog content and try to deliver it in a different way, but video is a lot harder to do right now. In order to do a video, I have to make sure that the weather's good. For lighting, I need to make sure I'm put together and ready to be on camera. I need to make sure that my children are napping well so that it'll be quiet for me to record. And finding a time when all those things would go together perfectly was very hard. I did try to record one video when I got back, but I ended up recording it 3 times and I just kept having technical difficulties. I felt like I wasn't able to say exactly what I wanted to and was just getting frustrated. So I ended up scrapping that video, and that more than anything really pushed me into pursuing the podcast route. So since then, I have really been working hard these past couple months to try to make this the best that I can. I've written out enough episode ideas that will last me through the next year. I have worked with my sister Erin, who is a incredibly talented graphic designer, to help me refine the branding that I already had on my blog, just to make it a little bit cleaner, which I am extremely happy with. And I've just been doing a lot of research into podcasting in general to hopefully make this the best that I can. I was also inspired by a lot of other bookish podcasts that I listen to throughout my week. Just to name a few: currently reading, Books Unbound, What Should I Read Next, From the Front Porch, just all of these creators who are doing amazing things, and I am excited to add my voice to the book podcast world. I do hope that you will join me for the first official episode, which will be launching on January 1st of 2025, and it will be my favorite books of 2024. I would normally write out my favorite books of the year on the blog, and it's always my favorite blog post to write every year, so I'm very excited to try it out in this new format. I hope that you'll enjoy it too, and after that you can expect new episodes every Wednesday. If something happens that I can't put out an episode a certain week, I'm hoping to at least have a blog post up just to help me hold myself accountable and create something that week. So with all that being said, thank you so much for listening and spending time with me today. You can connect with me and follow the show at Literary Morning on Instagram for all the latest news and updates. Show notes for this episode and more can be found at literarymorning.com. Did you love this episode? Be sure to leave a 5-star review or share it with a friend. Your love and support means the world. I hope you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening whenever you're listening, and I'll talk to you again very soon.